Hey there, Dave Gardner here, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the affiliate compensation plan and specifically the forced matrix inside of LIVEGOOD. And so if you've been hearing anything about, being able to earn thousands of dollars, without even recruiting or enrolling a single person, you're wondering, how that is even possible. That might, kind of scream scam, scream scheme, whatever. However, I do want to explain how that actually works. And there actually are 6 different methods of commissions that you can earn. And to be straight up and honest with you, probably the first 4 of them are the most obtainable. The 5th and 6th ones are a little bit higher. And so I just want to briefly go through those, and then I'm going to explain and go on the back end of focusing just mostly on the matrix one in this video. So the different ways, so for example, here it is. In fact, you can earn up to $2,047.50 per month without ever enrolling a single person. So is that possible? Yes. Is it probable? Probably not anytime soon. That is something that could take many, many months. It could take many, many years in order for you to actually get up to that level without ever having sponsored another member. And so income method number 1 is the weekly fast start commissions. Basically, the thing you want to focus on here is regardless of what level you are at, anytime you sponsor someone directly, it is a 50% commission. Now, to join LIVEGOOD, it is a $49.95 fee. That means $40 is basically a one-time registration fee and covers, logistics, so on and so forth, setting up the account. And then it becomes also a monthly $9.95 fee. So for that first month, you got the registration and your first fee of $49.95. Then every month thereafter for the rest of your life is just $9.95. Now, if you want to join at the annual level, you have the opportunity of doing a $40 registration and then $99. So you're actually saving $20 or 2 months if you do the full annual. And so what happens is, out of that $40, 20 goes to you as commission, and then out of that first month, you get a 50% commission on that first month. So that's 50% of $9.95, basically $5, and then of the 40, you get 50% of that. That's another 20, so $25 right there. You also, as you become higher ranked, you end up getting second tier and other bonuses going down. I'm not going to get into detail that. We're just focusing on the ones when you actually promote. So obviously, if you don't ever promote anyone, you're never going to win and never going to earn in that method. The second one is the matrix commissions. This is where, again, you have the ability to earn up to $2,000. Again, apparently without ever sponsoring someone. And I'm going to explain how that works in a little bit. What it is a 2x15 matrix. So obviously in a matrix, you would be at the top of your matrix, and then your matrix keeps splitting. You have left and right places where you can put it. And it's a forced matrix, so you don't really have to think about where you're going to place people. It's just going to continue to fill and fill and fill. But I'll explain some scenarios as we go on here. And so basically everyone that's under you in the matrix, you earn 2.5% of their monthly fee. Now, 2.5% of $10 is 25 cents. It's really 2.5% of $9.95, so it's like 0.248 cents, or dollars, I should say. So they're just rounding it up to 25 cents. And if you think about it, you're not going to earn $2,000 a month by only getting 25-cent payments from people in your matrix. You actually have to have a good-sized team in order for that to happen. The great thing about LIVEGOOD right now, this is February 8th, 2023. It is extremely new. It's only a couple months old. I believe there's about 20,000, maybe it's getting up to 30,000 members already. And this is on pace to maybe break 1 million by the end of 2023. So if you're only worried about, a few thousand people relative to 1 million, you still have a great opportunity to get in, and that spillover will continue to come and fill. Now, spillover is never guaranteed from your upline or for people below you. However, it's more of a bonus. And again, if you start to fill up your matrix, you have the ability to earn up to a certain amount. And I'll explain that in a minute. So again, it says $2,047.50. That was the one that was promised up above. You can actually earn as high as $16,000, $383.50 if you were a diamond member. And so unranked can go down 12 levels. The bronze and silver go down an extra 13th level. Gold and platinum, 14 levels, and then diamond, you can go all the way down 15 levels. So we're going to come back to that in a little bit. The matching bonuses, that's going to be another crucial reason why you would want to bonus or sponsor someone, because you're going to get a matching bonus. So for example, if you think about the Matrix ones that we just talked about up there, let's say you had someone that did a great job filling up their Matrix and they earned $1,000 that month. You are going to earn, if you sponsored that person, you're going to earn a 50% check match on what they earned. So if they earned $1,000 that month, you're going to get a bonus $500. If they earned $10,000, you're going to earn $5,000. So it benefits you to sponsor people, and it benefits you to share the products with people. Let people know about the products, because once they know about the products, they're probably going to want to find a better way to save money on the products, and they can do that by becoming a member. Every member, again, fee is just $9.95 a month, and pretty much every single bottle of every product that we have, the retail price compared to the wholesale price, the retail price is about $10 more, wholesale price obviously $10 less. So if you were to buy 2 bottles of anything, you're going to save that money. You're going to be saving $20 just to spend that $10. If you buy, let's say you bought 4 different bottles and 4 different items, you're saving $40 just to have that $10 membership fee. So it benefits you to actually enroll people, because again, you get this bonus of a matching check. You also get matching down in incremental values. Again, we're not going to get into that. We're just worried about people that you personally sponsor. Let's focus on that. The retail commissions, another huge one. If you promote the products and someone comes and buys a product, you are going to earn 50% of the difference between wholesale and resale. So, retail, excuse me. So let's say, for example, the wholesale price is $30, retail price is $40. Obviously, that's a $10 difference. You would earn 50% of that $10 difference. So you'd get $5 of that. And notice you also get commissions going down multiple levels in certain percentages based on people that are below you, based on who sponsored who that was in your downline. So again, it benefits you to sponsor people, and it benefits you to share the products, because again, you want a company to be product centered, and Live Good is product centered. And so just scrolling up here quick for a second just to point something out. Notice where we started. We got the super greens, the super reds, we got organic coffee, we got magnesium, we got multivitamins for men and women, we got CBD oil. There's an energy booster, and there's 2 different creams that I can think of, a cream and a serum for youth. And so there's more coming out right now. There's 15 products. Probably in the link below, you will see a couple other links to some other videos that I did of myself unboxing some of the products. I've got about 7 or 8 of the different ones that I've tested out. The one I like the most so far is the protein. It's a complete protein with about 26 vitamins and minerals or nutrients, and it is a vanilla flavor. It's really good. So getting back in again, you want to promote the products, because again, you can earn commissions on those products. And so the next one is called the influencer bonus. So I said 4 out of the 6 are probably the easiest to do. And so those 4 you can simply do. You can start to earn commissions. You can refer and sponsor people. You can get a matching bonus, and you can get retail bonuses. Those are all things that are very attainable for most of the population of people that are going to become members of Live Good. Now, if you are a very good marketer, you have the ability to get a lot of product out there, you are willing to take the next steps, you're focused, you are saying, I'm going to the top, no one's stopping me, I'm either going to make it all the way there, or you're going to find me dead on the side. Now, I just pulled that out because I just listened to Eric Worre's GoPro again today. Probably I've listened to it 5 or 6 times. I've read the book twice. I would highly recommend you pick up Eric Worre's GoPro, 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Professional. I believe that's the full title, but check that out. He goes into his speech that he gave when he was about 29 years old. So the influencer bonuses, notice if you have total retail sales of $2,500, $5,000. So if you're pushing a lot of product, selling a lot of product in your team and with yourself, you can actually get a bump. So instead of it being a 50% split between wholesale and retail, it's a 60%. If you were to have as much as 50,000 total retail sales, it's going to be up to 100% split. And so if you were to sell $50,000 worth of product, obviously it's not going to give you $50,000, but you're going to have that percentage between the the retail and the wholesale, and so they're going to up your option. So this would be, you know, maybe again it's number 5 because it's probably the 5th hardest bonus to get or option to earn commissions. And then obviously the creme de la creme is if you get to the highest level and you become a diamond member and a diamond distributor, you get to partake in the diamond pool. It's a 2% split between all of the commissions. So 2% of the total company sales every month, you're going to share in that. So in the beginning, obviously, there's going to be very minimal people that are going to maximize that number. But as the company grows, obviously the profits in the company are going to continue to grow and more people are going to become diamond members. So those last 2 are going to be diamonds. Now, question is, how do you get there? How's that money add up? You know, we see all these numbers. And like I said, I want to focus right now on the matrix. And so, for example, it just says 2.5%, 2.5%, 2.5% all the way down. So I have a couple diagrams that I made and put out here. And the first one here that we have shows basically a sample matrix. And so here you are at the top. And anytime you have a matrix, it always keeps splitting into 2, and those 2 split into 2, and then those 2 split into 4, and then it keeps going and going and going. So if we take a look, this first part right here at the top would be you. And then in your first level, there are a total of 2 boxes. And then the second one, each of those boxes, there's a position for 2 of them underneath. Okay, so now we have a 4 level. And then each of those 4 will then split into 2. So in the the third level, we have 8, and then it splits into 16, and then each of those splits into 32. And so if we take a look at this chart here, and if you can see on the left and right, as far as the total number that are in the level and the total number in the whole row, we're just focusing on these first 5 rows. And so if you were to fill up every single box in this first 5 tiers, which really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, obviously we're not counting ourselves because we're only counting people below us. If you were to fill up all those 4 boxes, you would have a total of 62 people on your team. And so 62 people is not a lot of money if you're multiplying that by only a quarter a person. And so right here we have the levels. If I'm at 62 people, the maximum number I'm going to make and then I can earn in commissions is $15.50. Now, again, obviously that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're only paying $9.95, you're basically getting your membership for free at that point. Now, if you only had your complete 4th row with 30 people, you're making $7.50. So now you're only $2.45 in the hole because your membership is $9.95, and if you made $7.50, you know, you're $2.45 shy. And so over time, obviously, this will continue to grow. Now, there can be people, obviously, that will drop out and become inactive, and that might play a role. I've heard a rumor that maybe there's compression in here, which means that things will move up and shift. I just don't know how easily or how that will actually follow suit and whether it will happen or not. But the goal is to try to maximize the people. Now, just to throw it out there, just to give you a number, that number that we looked at before, that $2,047.50, notice that's all the way down to 12 levels. That would have to have 8,190 people in your matrix. And so again, not to say that that's not obtainable, but that's not something that's going to feasibly or reasonably happen in a very short period of time. And that's something you need to understand and appreciate and accept right from the get-go. So you need to make sure that you don't think that you're going to just come in after a month and boom, start making $2,000 a month just by sitting back and just by showing up. Okay, you can't just show up and expect the world to be given to you, all right? This is not a silver platter. This is a business. You do need to go out there. You need to take action. You need to communicate with people. You need to, help people out in your upline, maybe in your upline, definitely in your downline. But sometimes you may be more educated than the person who sponsored you. Maybe you know a whole group of people, and maybe you have another crew that's going to come in and something works very well for their team that might be able to help out people in other legs that you have with you. So a couple things I want to point out. if you were to go all the way to diamond, and if you wanted to maximize that matrix bonus commission, you'd have to have all 15 of your levels completely filled. Now, just to show you the numbers, how exponentially bigger it gets, if we look over this left side, every single level, so again, level 1, level 2, so the first 5 levels, 32, so we have 2 here, and then it doubles to 4, doubles to 8, doubles to 16, and then finally doubles to 32, compounding and doubling. Notice by, 7, 8, 9, 10, by 10, I would have had 1,000 people, just 1,000 across, just in that very, very bottom row. If you want to be 15 across, there's going to be 32,768 people going across and being dropped and filled into that matrix. So again, this is not something that's just going to happen right at once, and it's not something that's going to happen, maybe your first day, your first week, your first month. It might not even happen your first year, but Live Good has such a great price point. Its price point is absolutely amazing at just $9.95 per month, and having no requirement for buying product and buying other things and getting packages. Now again, I highly recommend you try them out. We obviously want to have good health so we can enjoy any of the wealth that we end up earning. And so these numbers, again, you need to think about this one as being the cherry on top. Okay, the matrix is like your cherry on top bonus. You need to focus on getting better commissions from, sponsoring people, helping them realize what products might best suit their needs and their lifestyle. This, again, is just background information that will help you out. But again, I just want to point out, and I want to be clarifying and transparent right from the beginning, that in order to get that high number, all I did, notice 2.5% of $9.95 is 25 cents. So all I did was multiply the number of people times 25 cents. So obviously, if you have your first 2 members, you're earning 50 cents. If you have 4 members, that's a quarter and a quarter and a quarter and a quarter. So every one is a quarter. Obviously, 4 times a quarter is $1. So by the time you have those 2 rows filled, or those 2 levels filled, you're now up to $1.50. And then it just continues and continues exponentially. And that's the power. Now, the cool thing is that as people come into the program, they're just not able to be placed by the sponsor. The system just places them. And so that's going to maximize, and that's going to help things fill up. And so I want to go to another diagram first, and then we'll come back to this one, and hopefully this will show up. I've just given like a random schematic. And so if you are up here on the top, and I want to make sure that I am connected here with my pen, and if we come up here, and let's say this is, so obviously right there, that's you. And I want to make sure I have a darker color here. See if that will show up. Or a better color, possibly. And so obviously that is you right there, right? There's you. And so if you sponsor people, let's say you sponsor 5 people, your first person is going to go right there, and then your second person is going to come over here. And then what happens is the third will come there, the fourth will come here, the fifth will come there, and then any other one will continue to go there. But let's say, for example, I'm just going to try to erase this and get rid of some of this. Let's say, for example, you only sponsored 4 people. Maybe you didn't. There's someone above you that likely sponsored you. They might come in, and we'll see if I can change the color here. They might come in from above, and they might spill over and put in this person. They might put in this person. But then what you have to remember is their matrix is going to be wider. So they have other people over here they got to put in. And then maybe there's other people way over on this side before they get to that next level. And then eventually they might be coming in and doing this person and this person and this person. So it's going to go back and forth. It's not always going to be straightforward with just going through and having your matrix build. Now, you might be able to get some quick action and have some people come in, and you might look, and it looks like it starts to grow, and maybe all of a sudden you're in there, and you start to see this level right here really start to take off and fill up across. The next week, you might not see any action in any of these. There might not be anything because depending on where the matrix is, there might be a long distance going, this way or the other side that actually fills that up. So if we kind of just clear this all off, what we have to think about is where you actually came in. You might have come in and maybe your sponsor is, just try to get let me see if I can make that a little bigger. Make it a little wider there to stand out. I apologize for that. But let's say, for example, you come in and this is your space. Okay, let's say that's you right there. And so, like I said, maybe you sponsored into here and maybe you sponsored into there. And so you didn't sponsor anyone else and you didn't take any more action. And so what happens is we need to wait. And so let's say your sponsor, that was the only person your sponsor sponsored was you. But then maybe you came and took action. The person that the sponsor then places next, or if they sponsor someone else and gets filled in, obviously is going to go here. Whoops, just disappeared there. It's going to go there. And then what's going to happen is their next two are going to come down to this person and then this person because they're filling this whole row because that's their matrix. Okay, their matrix. Maybe they sponsor another person, and then finally you would start to see someone coming here, and then finally someone would come down in this next position, and then finally someone in this next position. And then maybe you sponsored someone. Maybe it goes back and you take some action, and then finally you start to sponsor and you start to fill in this person right here again. So it's going to go back and forth when you're actually sponsoring people to how that matrix is filled. But it might take a while. Maybe it's going to take a long time to fill that all in. And so depending on where you are and depending on where you came in, so let's say, for example, I'm going to try to, again, see if we can get this a little bit darker just to see. I apologize that it's not the greatest. We'll see if black looks a little better. And so let's say your sponsor's up there. It's coming in more gray, so bear with me. As I get this going here, we'll try to make it bigger. My device is a little sensitive. I want it intense, but I'm trying to get it so that it shows up. So your sponsor is going to fill in left and then right. And then let's say they're taking action. Maybe they go that one, and then they go this one here. And then maybe they sponsor someone. And then they're going to come, and then they're going to go there. So obviously, again, so they did that one. But what happens is maybe that person starts to take off, and that person is sponsoring like a madman. So they do that person, and they do 1, 2, then they do 3, and they do 4. And they're just going like crazy. And they're going down, and then they're filling in this one and filling this. They're filling all this. But if you haven't done anything else, you're not going to see any more filling. All of these spaces over here could stay empty. All of these spaces over here could stay empty because they're not part of this person's matrix. This person is going all the way down, and their matrix will keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So you may have depth, but you might not have width for a lot of places. And so if we go back to these numbers, the numbers obviously are not just going to automatically fill in this manner. Okay, from 2 to 6 to 14 to 30 to 62. You might have, in the beginning, it might fill in order, but then it might be 30, 30, 30, 20, 10. Then it might go to 50 again. Maybe 10 levels down, you have someone that is exploding. And that is, again, part of the amazing opportunity where you can see growth in all different areas that you're not going to really consider and think about. The way the plan, though, works is only down 15 levels, so that is something to keep in mind. So if you do have a heavy hitter and someone that is big into building teams and in MLM, the network marketing industry, that would be a great place to bring them into, would be obviously Live Good. And so this compensation plan, again, you have to consider that there's multiple different opportunities. And so if we're over here, not sure if this one will come up better. It was coming up better earlier in this diagram than the other one. So let's say you're here and you sponsor, let's say you sponsor a friend. So that friend is sponsored and they're over here, and then you sponsor the next person and your friend doesn't do anything. Okay? So you then sponsor your third person. So your third person is going to come over here and fill that one in. And then you sponsor your fourth. And then you decide you're going to sponsor the fifth. And then, maybe you take a break. Well, nothing's going to happen. Okay, obviously nothing's going to happen. This person is going to say, hey, I have 2 people in my downline. I'm making 50 cents. It's not worth it. I'm not going to quit. Because again, if you don't take any action, you're not going to see any results. One of my favorite quotes that I tell my students, my players when I was coaching sports, my kids, you get out of it what you put into it. So make sure you're taking massive effort. And so if you start to sponsor people, you can't just, again, wait for that spillover to happen. Obviously, if someone is the only one sponsoring, then obviously the next one's over here. Then it's going to take a while. Then I'm going to sponsor. There's another one here. There's another one in the third level there. I'm going to sponsor my, another one and another one. So I've sponsored all these people. This person didn't sponsor any of them. So they're making, now they're making $1.50 because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in their matrix. Because again, this part right here is their matrix. They're looking at this part going down this way and going down this way. And so their matrix is only there. We have a whole different matrix that happens with this person here. Now, every single person really has their whole matrix. Okay, every single person. The thing you have to consider is that every person has their own matrix. So if we were to come in and if you were sponsoring this person here, then their matrix is this part right here. If they sponsored this person, okay, their matrix is inside. So there's matrix inside of other matrix, which are inside of other matrix. So if we kind of go back and explain that. So for example, this person here, this is their matrix. But their matrix is part of this bigger matrix. And that matrix is part of this bigger matrix, which is part of this bigger matrix, which then is part of, the whole thing. And so every single person that gets sponsored after you and below you obviously is building a matrix within your matrix. And so over time, the more effort you put in, obviously you're going to have some trickle down spillover towards them. But again, set the expectations good from the beginning. Let them know that they're not just going to have rapid expansion. It's not just going to explode. Because what we have to consider is that even in the member area, when it says that so many people have, locked in below you and, make sure you lock in your space. Every Thursday night, you lock in your space. And then at Thursday night, it fills in the matrix, or sometime Friday morning, it fills in the matrix and just pops people all over the place. But it's also dependent on who sponsors who. So obviously, if you have a certain group of sponsored people, they're going to be placed first underneath their sponsor. And then maybe their sponsor has a larger group that maybe some of them will also trickle under. We have some people that are sponsoring very well. If you get on my team, I am sponsored, and my upline is some of the biggest leaders in LIVEGOOD. And so my direct sponsor is the #1 recruiter, Jeff. And so if you want to get spillover, obviously he is filling, and a lot of his first levels are filled. I have no idea where I am somewhere in there. I could be 6 or 7 levels deep, and 7 levels deep, if we go back to those numbers, 7 levels deep is 254 people across. 8 rows deep is 510 across. I could be one of those 510 people, and then now people, maybe the next group of what he's recruiting, he's got people that are spilling over into me, and he's sponsored people that have sponsored people somewhere in there. And again, it's a big team effort, but again, we can't bake on it. However, I am going to say, again, the fact that I am working with one of the biggest set of team members and team builders so far here, because I'm working with Jeff directly, and his sponsor is Ed. And then I believe Ed's sponsor is Tim. And so we have 3 of the top people that are direct. Now, again, Tim has the biggest of the biggest. And so, for example, Tim, if we were to get rid of all this junk here and clear this up, Tim is going to be probably one of, Tim would be up here, and I might be one of the people down here. So it's going to take a while because Tim is filling up people for such a wide group that it's obviously, as he continues to sponsor, they continue to fall in and fill in the matrix underneath him. So the matrix, again, is something that you can use as a benefit, and it can be very powerful, and you can have some amazing bonus commissions from it. But again, the big thing about a force matrix is don't guarantee and don't bank on that and just sit back and say, oh, I can make money without sponsoring anyone. Obviously, you want to maximize the commission plan, and by maximizing that commission plan, you're going to be sponsoring people. So again, when you sponsor someone, you earn 50%. Regardless of what level you're at, you earn 50%. But let's say you're a bronze, not only do you sponsor and you earn 50%, but you also earn a 10% bump on people that are sponsored like on the second level. Okay, so sponsored people who sponsor people. Okay, you basically get a little uptick. And so the next thing, obviously, we mentioned, I spent most of this video on the matrix, but then the matching bonuses, that's another thing. If you are building a team, then obviously you have to be able to sponsor people to earn better bonuses. If you have a team of 20,000 people and you're at that bottom level or close to the bottom, so 20,000, let's just round it up. So yeah, we'll say 16,000. Let's say you're at the $4,000 a month level, but if you haven't sponsored one of them, that would be really sad, because maybe one of those people you sponsored had, 4,000 people in their downline and they're making 1,000 a month. You'd get a 50% bonus on that. Maybe you had another one that had 8,000. You're earning 2,000, or 2,000, you're earning 1,000 of that. Maybe someone even just had 250 and they're earning 60. You're going to earn 30 of that. Money is money. Anything that you make over and above the $9.95 fee covers the cost of your business and makes it free. Obviously, the more you earn, the better your life's going to be in terms of making the business better. Maybe you can do some paid traffic instead of just organic traffic. Maybe you can buy a better software that might help. Maybe you're doing videos, maybe you buy a new camera, maybe you buy a new microphone. The key thing is the more action you take, the more results you typically will see, assuming that you're doing things the right way. Obviously, don't do the wrong thing over and over and over again. That leads towards the definition of insanity. So hopefully you found this explanation, the numbers, everything beneficial. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, or you can hit me up. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me, other places. Instagram at Super Dave Gardner. Again, that's Instagram at Super Dave Gardner. If you haven't joined yet, you've probably seen it somewhere on the video through this whole video, or see it in the link below. Go to joindavegardner.com. Again, that is joindavegardner.com. There's also a link, certifiedhealthproducts.com. Again, that's certifiedhealthproducts.com. That is going to bring you right directly to the store. You can actually check out the products. I highly recommend checking out the protein. What I've been doing is actually a greens drink with the super greens and the protein in the morning. Then usually in the afternoon when I come home, I take the E3 energy booster. And also in the morning, I also do the multivitamin for men. And I've sampled the coffee once. I'm not much of a coffee drinker. It had a bitter taste. Probably if I mix it with a couple of things, it might taste a little better. But again, that's my personal preference. Hopefully if you like coffee, it's probably great. It dissolved very well. It went down smooth. But like I said, I'm not much of a coffee drinker, so I can't give you an accurate assessment on the coffee. But it is organic like all the other products. So check the links below. Go to joindavegardner.com. You can take the tour. You can check it out. You can pre-enroll. Doesn't cost you anything to pre-enroll. Obviously, if you want to lock in and get part of that matrix, then you need to upgrade. So take some massive action, and we will see you on the leaderboard. Thanks.